He won't be there for long as the Warriors are expected to trade him. Look out for Minnesota. Are you talking about D'Angelo Russell right now in that comment I just read? He won't be there for long as the Warriors are expected to trade him. Look out for Minnesota. Okay. KD is disrespected by Golden State in the newest headline. I did just see that go across my timeline. Let me go to that story real quick. I think that was Bleacher Report. KD felt disrespected by Dubs. ESPN source close to Durant. All negative things that transpired showed a lack of respect. I agree. I mean, and to me, if I'm a free agent, I'm a little concerned going over to the Warriors, especially with the way this training staff handled. The training staff handled this. Also, you have Iguodala coming out and talking about it, saying about a previous injury he had during the playoffs. Iguodala gets traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. If there's a potential buyout, be on the lookout. If Iggy goes to the Lakers, if he goes to the Rockets, maybe even comes back to the Warriors, but I think that ship has sailed. I think that's over with. And breaking news to me, Kevin of Clutch Talk Sports saying that D'Angelo Russell will not be with the Warriors for long. This is my first time seeing that. Look out for Minnesota. Who do they get from Minnesota? Maybe Wiggins? That would be interesting. So Golden State only took D'Angelo Russell, so they weren't getting rid of KD for nothing. I hear they plan on trading Russell. Golden State got rid of Iggy because of his Breakfast Club comments, says JB Jennings. I can see Russell for Wiggins. Who else unless you want to trade Karl Anthony Towns, I don't think you're going to do that. So it must be Wiggins. So breaking news to me. Appreciate you, Kev, for putting that in the chat room. That's what's the greatness of this platform, is that people can comment, people can give you information that you maybe didn't know. And Kev has been on this stuff. Also, shout out to Tyler Butler of Enough with the BS podcast, sports and culture. You can find him on Facebook or all social media. He's been on top of the news going out. I mean, they got Jeff Teague. You can maybe put in a deal. But it's got to be Wiggins. Maybe it's Wiggins and Teague. I don't know, but that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. D'Angelo's going to fit well with an aging, expensive Iggy and Klay out for the first half of the season. Other news from this weekend. Listen to this front court, courting of right now, the backcourt of the Warriors if they are to keep D'Angelo Russell. Steph Curry, $40 million. Klay Thompson, $32.7 million. And then D'Angelo Russell, $27.2 million. That's $100 million in the backcourt. But again, reportedly, they are looking to trade him, which could definitely shake up things even more. Klay Thompson staying with the Warriors, it's no surprise there. 5 years, $190. Jimmy Butler signing with the Heat, 4 years, $142 million. A little bit of a backstory on Jimmy Butler signing with the Heat. He actually said that one thing he would never do would be signing with the Miami Heat. And guess what he did? He signed with the Miami Heat, probably because that was the team probably offered him the most. Going to South Beach has got to be probably an experience alone in itself. You're the man. You're the man there. D Wade's not there anymore. Reportedly, they traded Hassan Whiteside today to Portland, which I think that's a great pickup for Portland, by the way. That gives them a big man that I think they needed. I think that's a great deal for Portland. They needed someone there. They needed another scoring presence. And I think that's great for Portland, by the way. That was news that was coming down. that was provided by Kevin in the chat room. Clutch Talk Sports. Miami trading Hassan Whiteside to Portland. Seth Curry signs with the Mavericks. Not Steph Curry, but his brother, Seth Curry. He returns to the Mavericks. That's a nice added piece. And yeah, Pops, that caught me offsides too. They're looking at trading D'Angelo Russell. So if anything breaks during this show, you know I will give it to you as it's coming. Tobias Harris agrees to a 5-year, $180 million deal with the 76ers. 76ers also sign Al Horford. 76ers are still looking good. I cannot fully trust them. They were my team that I picked to go to the NBA Finals. They did not make it to the NBA Finals. They were close. They weren't that far away, but they weren't there. So that has reduced my trust in the Sixers. They have Tobias Harris, Al Horford, that's going to give them some leadership. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot more to come. As we can see, just through a couple of things that have been mentioned in the chat room, this free agency is far from over. Kemba decides to go to Boston. And shout out to Kemba. Kemba Walker, who was in Charlotte. It was being reported that he was going to stay in Charlotte. Shout out to Miss Mocha Bella in the building. Also, DJ Knox, thank you for tuning in. But it was being reported that he was going to stay in Charlotte. Then the Boston thing came up. To me, it kind of came out of nowhere. But he said he wanted to go to Boston because he wanted an opportunity. He wanted an opportunity to win. Boston has a legacy of winning. There's no more Kyrie. There's no more Scary Terry, who got traded to Charlotte. But they do still have young talent. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, which he better be starting this year. You don't make that trade if he's not starting this year. And the trade's already been done, so obviously. But he needs to be starting. I'm sorry. As much money as he's getting paid, he does not be coming off the bench. And that's the real deal right there. But Kemba's going to have his opportunity to help lead that team to the Eastern Conference Finals possibly. Scary Terry wanted out of there. He ends up going to Charlotte. He gets his opportunity to play more time. So, it works out for everybody. And he gets to play underneath the leadership of Michael Jordan. So, it really doesn't get any better than that in that situation for both of them. So, also, Derrick Rose, has signed with the Pistons. I wish the best for D Rose. I really do. And I think whatever opportunity he gets, I think he's going to capitalize off of it. And I think he is still a presence in this league. He's probably not the D Rose of old, but he is still a quality player. And I still got love for D Rose, and I think he can still contribute and add something to that team and to the league. I think he got a 2-year, $15 million deal. So shout out to D Rose. Ben, how do you feel about the Mavs signing Seth Curry? Great question. I think it's great. Seth Curry to me is not a superstar. He's probably like a third-tier player, but you need to add depth on this team. You have to do that. So if you're able to do that with Seth Curry and some other players, I'm all good with that. He had a good time while he was here in Dallas. He contributed well to the team. So I'm okay with it. I'm not like jumping up and down for joy, but I think you got to add pieces on the team. You can't just have Porzingis, Luka, and a whole bunch of scrubs. So Malcolm Brogdon, 4 years, $85 million with the Pacers. But the good thing with Milwaukee is they re-signed Chris Middleton. They re-signed Brook Lopez. Supposedly Robin Lopez as well is going to be on the team. So the majority of their team is still there. George Hill, I think, also re-signed. So they have the majority of their team besides Brogdon. So I think they still got a shot to push in the East. And yes, George Hill did rejoin the team. So they have a lot of their same pieces. So that's a good point if you're a Bucks fan, or if you're a fan of the Eastern Conference. If you're just a fan of the competition in basketball, they're still going to be very similar to what they were last year. Jamal Murray with a 5-year, $170 million deal with the Nuggets. I think he deserves that deal. Nuggets making a push in the West. So we'll see what happens there. Also, they re-sign Paul Millsap, 3 years, $30 million. So I think that's good for them as well. And look, I want to see every team be their best. Every team have an opportunity to compete, because that's what makes the NBA interesting. And that's what makes it good to watch. So me and my wife were having a talk last night, because she's like, KD went to Brooklyn, Kawhi went to Brooklyn, and she's like, nobody wants to build a legacy on their team anymore. Nobody wants to stay on their team, stay there for the entirety of their career. And I was telling her that's not the way these guys think, and that's not the way the NBA is. You want to partner with one of your best friends, which is a free country. They can do whatever they want. As much as people rag on them, they can do whatever they decide to do with their career. But also the other factor of it as well is that they want to win championships. And in order to do that, in a lot of situations, you have to partner up with other players. You have to partner up with other players. I think another part of that is just the way that these guys are now. They want to build their brand. It is not about them being on a team and their team getting promotion and getting pub. They can build their own brand no matter where they are. They can build their own brand no matter what team they're on. So them being directly linked to a team does not matter anymore. You don't have to have a guy on one team for his entire career, because they're looking to build their brand. And that's the truth. We like it or not, that's the truth. They want to build their brand. In order to build your brand, you don't have to be on one particular team. Shout out to Big Kev in the building. Seth Curry, a good backup shooting guard. Miami Heat have engaged in the Washington Wizards about potentially acquiring Bradley Beal. Mocha Belly, you should be jumping up and down right now. Not only with getting Jimmy Butler, but if they're able to get Bradley Beal as well. And the Mavs were supposedly going to be in a deal to get Goran Dragic. That didn't end up working out. The Mavs want to leave their options open, but I think the Mavs should 100% go in on that deal. Who else is out there? Who else is out there and available at this point in time in the game? A lot of people are already signed. A lot of people are already gone. When it comes to free agency, Kawhi's still there, but Kawhi is 100% not going to Dallas. Okay? So you need to get this Dragic deal, make it happen. I don't understand why. I know you want to leave your options open, but when you don't have that many options to begin with, when there's not that many players to begin with, why not get Dragic, who supposedly is good friends with Luka, who supposedly can probably help this team dramatically. And Mocha says Heat Nation.